Job, career challenges, personal problems, relationship issue. When AI can't solve your problems, try a human approach. Ayyo, contact Loy Machedo.
All right, this is part two of how do I use ChatGPT in terms of my line of work, in terms of day-to-day usage, and sometimes a little bit of a cheat sheet, so to speak. I'll elaborate more on this in this video. Feel free to put your questions down below, and if I know the answer, I'll definitely tell you. Okay. Very explicit disclaimer. I don't have a paid service with ChatGPT or any of the OpenAI services. I just fluctuate from Gemini to Kimi to DeepSeek to Copilot. I think that's the one from Microsoft, and ChatGPT is also there. Although on the Chrome browser, it keeps giving me errors, because it translates. It makes it default Thai, and then the Chrome browser translates that to English, and it's always a headache. It's kind of crazy. Okay, and then Perplexity, Claude, whatever. There are so many. So what I do is I don't just stick to one. I always go from one to another. And I know there is a school of thought that says if you use one and you use the standard prompt, it'll give you the easiest answers. That is not something I want to do. I don't want it to be convenient where I don't use what is up here. Because remember, if you give this to AI, you're not using that muscle anymore. And you will be 100%, you will be dependent on it, which I don't intend to do. Okay, that's my personal choice. I leave it up to you. All right, so let's move on with the part two of this. Part one link is put down below, and feel free to ask me questions. If I know, I'll answer. All right, so what do I use ChatGPT for? Some other things. I'll give you an example. Today, when I went to the gym, before the gym, I happened to see the trailer of what is that? The Bengal Files, that the guy who directed Kashmir Files. So I found one or two reviews. I didn't find much. So I wanted to know whether it's worth watching it. So I typed on Chrome Bengal Files movie review. Then I got that guy KK. He's very sarcastic. A 2-minute video or something. I'll show you right now. Just let me go there, and I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up. Okay, Bengal Files review. Here it is. It shows. Okay, so you have the typical tried and refused productions. Then you have Filmy Indian. You have Komal Nath Official. They speak in Hindi. But this guy was pretty sarcastic. Where is that guy? KK. What's his name? KK. He makes fun of everybody. What is his name? KRK. Okay, KRK. Let me put it so I know that he's the right guy. KRK. Okay, so this guy, he had a 2-minute 42-second video. So I thought I'll see that. And he literally ripped the movie apart and was saying this is a propaganda. Okay, so what I did is, I wanted to know whether it was worth it or not. So as soon as I landed in the gym, I typed on ChatGPT, Bengal Files movie review. And lo and behold, it was able to check different newspapers, Times of India, I don't know which all, 2-3 newspapers, and give me a summary, a brief summary. Times of India said this, this newspaper said that, this is what someone said. And then it gave YouTubers, this is the review general. And then it also gave the box office collection. And finally, what it stated as, the plus points of the movie, the drawbacks of the movie. Okay. So in just one single line of instructions, ChatGPT literally gave me the summary of everything. Now, that is where I use it. So it kind of solves my problem. Okay. Now, obviously, I still want to watch that movie. I'll give you another area where I've used ChatGPT. Every time I keep making videos. Okay, I keep making videos. So I need to think of topics. Now, what I had done, this is what I had done. I had literally typed out, give me 50 topic ideas on personal branding. Give me 50 viral topics to speak about. Give me 50 topics 30-year-old men would find interesting. Give me 30 topics related to marriage issues. Give me 30 topics related to jobs in Dubai. Give me 30 topics which are, pain points for people in India. You don't believe I kept at it, 50, 100. I made a Google Doc with nearly, I think, 5,000 or more, 5,000 topics. Okay, different categories. Now you'll be like, wow, see, ChatGPT helps you. But guess what? I made 5,000 topics. I've not used it till date. I'm not trying to tell you I'm smarter than ChatGPT. I'm telling you facts. Like, for example, I'll give you an example to make you understand. In personal branding, it gave me, okay, what are the topic title? What are the 5 personal branding tips you could give someone to help them earn more money? Then what are the 5 or 10 personal branding mistakes people make? Then how to become a personal brand in a crowded marketplace? What are the 5 key personal branding strategies for leaders in the market? Then what is the difference between personal branding and business branding? So the problem with these topics is, okay, these are relevant topics or whatever, but if someone is not interested, what is the use? And I was like, okay, marriage. How do you find the right marriage partner? What are the key qualities you should look for in your marriage partner? What are the do's and don'ts before marriage? And what should you consider after marriage? Now, all these are great topics. But then, I was thinking, like, if anyone wants to Google search this, they can get it here. I want stories. And real stories, not fictitious ones. So I was like, none of this is going to help here. Because if I don't believe what I'm saying, I can assure you this much, you can see through it. So I was like, man, this is not helping me. So this is another area where I used ChatGPT. It didn't work out. Just today, I made a coloring book. I found out that you can type out a coloring book and get it from Gemini. So I made a coloring book and I gave it to her. I was having a massive headache in trying to figure out how to download it and transfer it. There's some error that it was showing. I don't know why. I tried on ChatGPT. I tried on DeepSeek and it didn't give me the coloring book. So I managed to get 10 pages, a cute little girl. So I gave it to my daughter. And guess what? My daughter wasn't interested. She was like, she wanted some other cartoon character. Okay. Then there's a couple of serious areas where I've used ChatGPT is, there was once this guy, he sent me some legal jargon and stating that, oh, you know what you're doing, you can fall into trouble, this what you shared, or particular video. So I was not too sure because he gave me a lot of legal lingo jingo, and I copied it, and either I can take a lawyer or I can type it out in ChatGPT and ask him, is this applicable? Is this a issue in India? Is this an issue in Thailand? Is this an issue in Dubai? So there it kind of sorted my problem very easily. When I get some clients, which I've got, one-off cases like a politician or an actor or a businessman. Politician, if I want to know that what is his affiliation, is he right, is he left, what does he believe in? Actor, which are the movies that he made? Is he like as successful as he claims to be? Even a singer I got, he claimed to be very successful, but then when I did a ChatGPT complete this, because he was a public figure, I was able to find out what was bullshit and what was real. Then a businessman, one of my friends and clients, he told me that they were about to sign a business deal with this businessman, and he wanted to find out, does he have any legal issues, or because he portrays a hyper successful image. He found out that he had a couple of court cases in the country of his residence, but his was a paid version. I don't want to give more details because it's confidential. So these are the areas. Well, paid version can help. Then I got one letter which was totally confusing. It was from a client. I made an effort to call the client and asked him, what exactly are you written down here? And he was saying something else. He had written something else. So I'd taken down notes of what he spoke, and it still didn't make sense because letter was something, what he wanted was something else, and he paid me for something else. So then I just dumped all this into ChatGPT just to make sense. You could say 50% it made sense. The rest was all the vague. Yeah, develop empathy towards your client. Ask solution specific questions, and be patient and understand. That is all bullshit. I was like, what the hell, yeah. And last but not the least, whenever there is, in my WhatsApp groups, people. Not only WhatsApp groups, people send me messages. Hey man, this is a new law that has come in Dubai, or this guy's died, and this sheikh has done this. Oh, Dubai is going to collapse and all that. Whenever they give me a news claim or something, and if I have to find the citations or references or find out whether it's rumor or real, because I'm making content, that's where it helps. So I give you a couple of areas. Okay. And yes, if someone type something in like Malayalam or Hindi or French and all that, and I want to understand what they said, before I used to ask people, now I just copy paste in the AI. Now, I'll give you something very interesting. This is an actual example. Nowadays, there is this mirror. There's this kind of a mirror, which you can have AI in that. You can take your photograph without a shirt or without, obviously wear an underwear, don't be naked. And it creates not only an avatar, a very real person. And then you have to input your data, your health, your medical information. And then it actually tells you what exercises to do. Like you can interact with it. It tells you high intensity, low intensity. And as you're doing it, it tells you you're not doing it the proper way. You need to twist your arm a little bit. It interacts with you very well. You can give it your nutrition, your diet. You can put in your medical, I have diabetes, blood pressure, pain on my joints. And it actually gives you customized workouts. And you're looking at a human, like a virtual. Actually, it looks like you can have a girl, you can have a guy, you can have anyone. Okay. And it seamlessly connects to your iPhone, and it seamlessly connects to your iMac or Android device or whatever. I was tempted to buy it. I checked everything else. But then it is a great AI, great piece of machinery. But then I decided not to go for it. And the reason being is, if I really want to improve, it wasn't too expensive. It would, like what I would pay for a coach, maybe, let's say $10,000 or $15,000. That was kind of the range, plus with the, annual maintenance contract and all that. That I would rather have a real coach. I'm being honest, because I have always, the maximum difference I found is when I have a real coach. Now, the same amount of money that I would spend for this mirror, which is AI, I could spend it on a real human being, a good, worthwhile one. And he would exercise with me. Let's say I'm going for a long distance running. He would run with me. AI can't do that. Yeah, it can give me a watch. I used to use not only Garmin, Polar heart rate monitor. It used to give me the data online through an Excel sheet, and this I used to analyze with my coach. Yeah, it can analyze all this, but it can't give professional medical advice. So I would rather have a physical coach, a physical human being, run with me, take my data, tell me what do I need to change, tell me what do I need to eat, follow up. He would follow up with me, or I would call him up at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then he would chalk out my program for the next day. I'm more comfortable with that than an AI generated, girl or guy, or maybe they are, technically superior. Maybe the click of a finger, they can give me all the information that I need. But I still prefer a real human being. And that is why in my gym, you'll still get real coaches with real people who want to really see results. There are people who are having, seriously, their smartphone, they'll plonk it on a stand, and there is a coach. There's an actual real human being, and he'll say, okay, move a little bit this way. Okay, do it this way. Come on, do 5 more reps. There are people who have done that. I've seen iPads. And I think once I saw one guy, he was from Kopagang. He had a virtual kind of a person. Hi, how are you? That kind of thing. So I've seen all that. But I'm telling you what I prefer. I prefer real human being, and that is where I've seen the maximum change. Okay. The last area where I've used AI, before, when people used to send me comments, or they would send me questions, or they would send me, these are all people who don't want to pay for my service. Let's say, for example, a guy is asking me, there was this online debate I had with this guy, DC Universe versus Marvel Universe. Okay, he was telling me that, the DC Universe is more profitable, the Marvel Universe is not. So instead of spending time doing the research, click of a button, I got all the answers, including how much money, what was the box office collections, and whatever claims he made, I was able to prove him wrong. So that is where I use it. But when you're talking of interacting with a real human being in a real way, I would rather prefer ignoring the person or just saying thanks, one line, thank you, okay, rather than giving a copy-pasted AI response. I don't know. That is just my style here. Now, where can all this prove to be a problem? And I'll tell you, this is where it gets scary. And this has happened here. Huh? Be careful of this. Where's my soda? 1 second. Remember, I'm giving all real-life examples. There was this pharmacy. I'll not give the name because I don't want to get into problems with defamation law. There was this pharmacy which I used to go to every single time whenever there was any problem. My daughter was sick, and this time when I went again, the lady who was there, she no longer was there. There was this new guy. He looked young and all that. And I was waiting in line because there was a person before me, and that person was Thai, and asked him, like what I could understand is someone in his family is sick and he wanted a proper medicine. This guy pulled out his tablet, which I had not seen before being used there, and he typed out maybe what is the sickness and this thing, and the medicine was given, and based on what was stated in the iPad, he pulled out the medicine, gave it to him, and was referring the iPad and giving him what is the dosage and all that. Now, compared to him, the previous person who I was dealing with, she was slightly older, a lady. She was educated pharmacist. She was certified. She never used that software. She knew every medicine from the shelf. She knew the dosage, anything. Yeah, if suppose there was something where she had to do, she would check the system. But she never used smartphone. Now, when I saw this guy doing all this using his tablet and AI, I was like, man, I'm not going to risk my daughter's this thing with a guy who needs AI. Okay, so I stopped going to that pharmacy. Now, would you be comfortable? You go to a doctor and he literally is checking all the answers on his smartphone or AI and giving you the solutions. Or would you prefer a guy who knows his job? In fact, in my WhatsApp group, they've shared with me these actual service providers, Indians based in Ireland, and one guy was based in some other country abroad. He's telling college students he will write their papers, he will complete their theses, he will do the assignments, all through not only him, but his team of people who use AI. You don't have to do anything, just pay him per month, everything will be taken care of. I mean, just imagine the quality of students who are going to graduate. Would you feel comfortable knowing that a doctor, he got his degree because AI wrote his papers? Are you comfortable with that? Look at the quality of people who are going to Canada or Australia, no, not Australia, more in Canada, there are people who claim to have masters in English, masters in philosophy, masters in business management, and when you talk to them, they can't even string together a decent sentence of English. And whatever you talk to them or chat with them or type out, they'll give you AI answers. Are you comfortable with these people? In my previous video, I told you about couples who are using, like two people who are in love. The female used a filter, this guy used a filter. Their answers were all AI. I mean, then when they met each other in real life, they realized this is not what I want. I even told you in my previous that WhatsApp group that I created for debate. All the guys wanted to sound that they're the sharpest and smartest and greatest intellect on the planet. Every member there. And when they're debating, they would put facts, figures, years, everything ChatGPT. So it was my ChatGPT versus your ChatGPT. Let's see whose ChatGPT is smart. I mean, I wanted a human interaction. So it became a thing of ego. I'm smarter than you. That's why I just fucking deleted the group. Fuck off. Use that ChatGPT and impress somebody else here. What is the point here? What is the point if everything that you're doing is being just, ChatGPT is writing your email. ChatGPT is giving your comments. ChatGPT is any problem. Where do you use your brains then? So, see, I'll tell you this. I'll just give you last two examples before we conclude. Okay. You can impress someone with making a perfect resume. Okay. You can give the best answers when they give you a Q&A. But when they will call you face to face, what will you do then? And if he asks you a question, which maybe he asked you before, and you gave him a ChatGPT answer, and he has that record, and now he's asking you mano to mano. He asks you, okay, look into my eyes and tell me what is the answer. Then what do you do, man? You can write a perfect cover letter, a perfect article or a perfect resume. You can type out and ask him, give me a 3,000 worded article. It'll give you in seconds. But if you're not able to replicate that face to face, you're fucked, right? You think in front of your colleagues, they're not going to sit and look at you, what you're doing? How long can you fool people? Yeah, you can have a paid version customized to your personality, but people are looking at you. You can't fool people all the while. And if everything that you're doing is ChatGPT, OpenAI, and then why should someone pay you, man? Seriously, my serious question, why should someone pay you if every answer that you give is an AI? Isn't it better to have a monthly membership and get all the answers? Why do you think I refuse? I totally refuse. I'll use AI to enhance, let's say, like I told you, I want to know Bengal files. Okay. That DC versus Marvel, it doesn't help me in any way. Okay. But where it comes to my own videos, I don't use AI for editing. There are softwares to use, or every video I start with all right, or there are sometimes longer gaps. Why I never use AI? I don't want. I can even press, there are some automated softwares where it'll edit the whole video and give it to you. Why I don't do that? Because the day you hand over the skill, you're giving part of your brain, you're not going to use it. And remember, dementia is a very real possibility in people. And it occurs when you do not use the muscle, the gray matter. You may not think of your health right now if you're young, but as you get older, trust me, as you get older, everything from constipation, hemorrhoids, internal bleeding, painful joints, lack of, your brain cells dying out, forgetfulness, dementia, diabetes, blood pressure, all this will come in, man. You have to exercise your body, you have to exercise your mind. And these softwares, don't think that these companies are doing you a favor. Oh, you can use Facebook for free. We realized Facebook was not the product, you were the product. Now AI, they're giving it to you for free. You buy a subscription for internet for 1 year, they'll give you Perplexity in India for free. Don't think they're doing you a favor. Wow, they're so nice, they're so kind. You're not using your mind. I have been listening to so many of these podcasts of cognitive scientists, behavioral scientists, psychologists, psychiatrists. What they're saying is, there's a sharp decline in critical thinking, logical thinking, in using your mind to communicate. He's saying we are getting a generation of zombies who only know how to use, scroll. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to do that. Maybe you can do that. Yeah, you'll sound very impressive. Yeah, people will be, wow, what an answer. Oh, look at it. But then when they talk to you face to face, they will wonder, is this the same guy? How many people on WhatsApp and chat, they appear so smart. I've literally called them up, called video, and it's zero. Big fucking zero. You think these points that I've mentioned, all these points, which I'm looking at the screen and talking, you think I used AI to get all this? No, real life examples. Look, bottom line, I'll tell you this much. Will AI replace you? Which I had asked in the previous video. Will AI replace you? It'll replace certain tasks. You can make the resume better. Fine. But you can't rebrand it to you. Why? Because when I work with someone, I ask them questions. Listen, give me the example of this. Where did you use this skill? Leadership examples, give me. Where did you fail? What is your drawback? What is your plus point? What can you do? What can't you do? What is your greatest fear? Okay, should I position you as aggressive? Should I position you as passive? Sometimes the answers that they give me, I say, see, boss, listen, don't say this. I'll give you a good example. This is a very powerful one. This actually happened. There was this guy who was using OpenAI ChatGPT, paid version, for resumes and getting to jobs. He would succeed in getting to the job interview. Remember, resume, the purpose is to get an interview. But at the interview, he would always fail. Okay? And finally, he got fed up when he missed a lifetime opportunity that he wanted, and finally decided, okay, I'll just go ahead with me. Okay? So I asked him, okay, what are the answers you gave? And he told me, very transparent, I used ChatGPT and these are the answers. I read his answers, all were perfect. And I told him, this is where the problem is. The problem is your answers are perfect. They're not human. Like you will say about leadership skills or your strengths or weaknesses, or where did you succeed as a leader? Where did you failed as a leader? What is the skill that you have used in terms of, let's say, engineering or accounting? I said, this is not you. And you'll not believe, I actually made him say this. I told him, I want you to give a personal story where the questions that they ask you, strengths or weaknesses, for example, I'm just giving an example, give a story. He didn't understand. So I had to explain to him, and then I had to work with him how to make that story within a few minutes, make it interesting and present it in a way that would sell him to that guy, but in a convincing fashion. That took nearly 2.5 weeks of practice. Seriously. And did he improve? Oh, 100%. Did he get the dream job? No. Did he improve? 100%. Did he get a better job? Yes. But that dream job he couldn't get, because once you apply, job is gone. It's gone. It's finished. I'll give you one final example that will help you. This actually happened. This was my client. The guy used to keep giving the typical cliche OpenAI answers, which were good, nothing great. One day I told him, see, listen, young chap, he was going for this interview. He needed the job badly. He didn't have a job. So he called me up before going to the session. He had booked a session, and I told him, because you're young, I'll give you one extra session. You don't have to pay me when you're going for the interview. So he was going to get interviewed by the owner of the company. Okay. And the problem is, the position that he was applying for, there were people with more experience than him and better educated. He came from a not so rich background. So I told him, I want you to do this. When he asks you, which most probably the owner will say, why should I give you a job? Or why do you think you're the right person for the job? Or I told him, even if he doesn't ask you, you say this before you go. So he said, okay, what is it? So I told him, say this. And this was real. This is not a fake made up story. So if he asks you, why do you think you're the right person for the job? Normally, he would say, sir, I'm very hardworking, very focused, result oriented. No matter what, I'll give my life for the job. I told him, this is a cliche bullshit answer anyone can give. So I told him, you say this based on the facts which I know about you. So he said, yeah, okay, go ahead. I told him, say this. Say, sir, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why you should give me the job. Because I don't know who are the other candidates. Maybe they are smarter than me. Maybe they're more educated than me. I'm pretty sure they have more experience than me. I'm sure some of them have better qualifications than me. So there is always someone better than me. So when there's someone better, why should you go for someone who is less? But there's one thing which I have, which I don't know if these other people have. And that is, I don't have a father. I have a mother, widowed mother, and I have a sister, younger sister. And my mother depends on me to work and earn and look after her and look after the sister, because my sister is to complete her education. And I'm also saving for my sister's marriage, because as per our culture, we have to give a little bit of dowry. So if I don't work, they will sleep hungry. They have nobody else. So whether people are better than me, whatever, I have this responsibility and I cannot afford to be a failure. Now, I'll challenge you with this. Type this answer into ChatGPT and say, is this a good answer to give for an interview? 100%, 100 out of 100 times, it'll say, no, this is not professional. But guess what? In the real world, a man who is 50 or 60, if you were to tell him this genuinely, and it's a real story, he would think, instead of getting the guy who is hyper talented and has nothing to lose and will work with me for 2-3 months and fuck off, this guy, if I give him the job and I take care of him and his expense and whatever, he'll stick with me loyal for at least 3 to 5 years. This ChatGPT can't give you. Open challenge, it can't give you, man. And because ChatGPT will not know what to ask of you, and ChatGPT can't think like a human being, it can't empathize, it can't sympathize, it can't be human. It can be a database, a server that gives you Google search, picture perfect answers. It can't give you humanity. It can't give you heart. It can't give you courage. It can't give you that human connection. And I'll tell you, this is just a conclusion. One of the biggest impacts ChatGPT has had on my business is, before, people used to ask me Tom, Dick and Harry questions which are stupid. Okay, these are not paying clients. What should I change in my CV? Is my CV okay? Is my objective okay? How is it in Dubai? How to get a visa in Dubai? How to start a business in Dubai? So people would ask me this, even though they could Google search. Today, that has dropped like zero. They know they can type it out. How do you get a job in Dubai? How do you open up a business in Dubai? What are the different types of visas? Okay. So the so-called freeloaders, or the people who don't pay money, zero. The people who want a free service with generic answers, also zero. And I told you this, not only this video, the previous one, I've stopped answering those people. I don't even bother to put it in ChatGPT because I don't want to ruin my reputation. I don't want people saying, I wrote to Loy, this is the answer he gave. It's perfect ChatGPT. No, I don't want to ruin it. Better it become a rarity, a kind of like an exclusive service that only if you pay, you get it. And people who pay me, I go the extra mile. Yes, I will use ChatGPT to enhance what I give them, but the majority of work will be me. I'm not going to give my ability to do research, to think, to interpret, to communicate, to write, to express. I will never give it to any software, no matter how perfect it is, because at the end of the day, if I do that, then there's no difference between going to 100 guys who have access to ChatGPT with better prompts than coming to me. Okay? So I hope this answers your question. And, it's like one of my students asked me, sir, which OpenAI or, software would you recommend I use? And how do you use it? And how many hours do you suggest I use? Or do I go for a course to master it? I just told her, don't touch ChatGPT. Keep it far away as if it's cancer. You develop your skill. Without ChatGPT, you'll grow. And she took it to heart. And she may look dumb in front of others, but she's developing that strong foundation which will help her become successful. So I hope this added some value, gave you some insight. Like I've told you in part 1 and in this one, I've told you where I use ChatGPT, for what I use it for, and where I will refuse to use it even if it benefits me. Because once you hand it over to them, you have given your life, your soul, and you'll never get it back. It's like Dracula. Just to gain immortality, you gave your soul, but then you'll pay a price for which you'll never recover. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.